أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى اللهم على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وآله الطاهرين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, respected brothers and sisters, in another session of our series of discussions. Tonight, inshallah, we will finish the first part of our discussions concerning the human being in Islam, and inshallah we will finish the general issues and topics on the human being, and inshallah for the next sessions we go to the next part and the next chapter of our discussions, and it will be about the prophethood, inshallah rahman. So there are too many topics that we did not talk about and we did not have enough time to, and inshallah I will refer you to many books. Inshallah you can read many other details about the human being in Islam, and I'm going to talk about many things about the human being in Islam in the topic of prophethood and al-imamah, inshallah. So for tonight we go to the last session and last part of our discussion on the human being in Islam, and that is the relation between the creation and the evolution, which is a very controversial discussion, at least for recent 1 or 2 centuries. There were many talks and many arguments and many debates on the evolution and the relation between the evolution and the creation, and can we believe in any kind of supernatural power like God if we believe the evolution. And tonight, inshallah, we will talk a little bit about this discussion, inshallah. Before we begin, if you remember, in the first series of our discussions about Tawheed, we talked about the role and the competence of the science to provide a worldview to us. And we said there, I don't remember which session it was, inshallah Sayyid will send us a link in the WhatsApp group, the link of that discussion. But we said the science has offered many good things to the mankind, but it is not true and it's not correct to expect a worldwide from science. And we talked about that, and it was a very, I think, good session because we had many conversations and dialogues over that discussion in that session. And there we said that the science is unable to provide a holistic, a general worldview to us, because science is just talking about the experiences and the incidents that a scientist can feel or experience in the lab or like that. But science cannot say that what is our origin, what is our destination, what is our essence and reality. And science as well is unable to talk about the transcendental issues. There we said that science cannot prove the existence of God and cannot disprove it. So all these scientific arguments that talks about the existence of God, including the arguments of the Stephen Hawking that we talked about his book and his ideas there, is worthless to us. There's nothing to say about the religion and about the God, because science is confined and limited to the material world and nothing more. That is so important. Science has no tool, has no means, has no ability, is not capable to talk about anything beyond the material world. So, at first, we should know that evolution is completely based on science. It's the first step that we need to take and we need to know. The evolution is completely based on the scientific sciences, if it is really based on some scientific evidences and facts. Inshallah, I will come to that discussion. So, it cannot by any means confront any philosophical or religious conception about the origin of this world, because it's just scientific. And science, as I said, is confined to this material world. Okay, so if anyone wants to use the evolution to deny the existence of God, we would say what? That this kind of argument is completely illogical. It doesn't make any sense. And you need, for understanding this part of my lecture, you need to go back to that session that we talked about, inshallah. After this session, you can watch that talk that we had in this series of discussions. Okay. But for tonight, I'm going to take three steps on the evolution. The first step is that evolution is just a theory, even in science. It's just a theory. It's not even completely proven by anyone. And inshallah, we will talk about this. The second step would be that this contradiction, this supposedly debate and oppose between the creation and the evolution is completely wrong. What does that mean? It means that even if we believe in the evolution, even if we take it as a fact, as an undeniable reality in this world, even by that, it does not oppose the creation and the theory of the creation. And that is a very big lie, this creation versus evolution. There is no contradiction. Even if we believe in the evolution, we can also, and again, and still believe in the existence of what? The existence of God. Okay, that is the second step. And the third step is that evolution, if we even take it as a fact and the reality, evolution does not even contradict and opposes the Qur'anic narration of the creation of the human being. So we've got three steps to take. First, evolution is just a theory, nothing more. And it's all after that, the introduction I provided, that anything comes from the science, cannot provide any worldview, cannot talk about any immaterial being. After that, we have three steps. First, evolution is just a theory. Second, evolution does not contradict and does not oppose the existence of God. The third step is that the evolution does not oppose the Qur'anic narration on the human being's creation. By those three steps, that supposedly contradiction between the theory of the evolution and the believing in God and the creation of God would be completely wiped out. There is nothing such as a creation versus evolution, even if you believe in evolution. So the problem there will be solved. And today, unfortunately, you see that many of these atheists, many of those people who do not believe in God and deny the existence of God, they use the evolution as a fact. That is so interesting. They use the evolution as a fact, and they say by believing the evolution, then we need to reject the existence of God. Okay. So for the first step, we need to know that evolution is just a description, an explanation about the origin of the human being and all the species on this planet and in this world. So it's just a theory. You know, there's a question: how do this species and all the beings came to the existence? How was their transformation? There are too many arguments there, and all claim to have the scientific evidences. One of those arguments, one of those theories is the evolution, which believes that it wasn't just a spontaneous, sudden creation. No, it was a gradual, one by one transforming of the species and kinds of the beings to each other. So it begins with a very, very simple being, very, very simple cell, and it goes and becomes more complicated, more sophisticated, more detailed, to the extent that that cell, after millions of years, becomes this very organized, complicated human being. So that's an explanation. Like you enter your house and you see that it's so hot and you can't figure out what's happening here. So there are some explanations here. The first, you had a device there to increase the temperature of the womb. So this is one of the explanations. And you can see that. Suppose, just imagine that you can see that. The second is the weather and calamity, and the weather is going to be hotter, and the temperature of the weather is going to increase. The third is you're sick, and it's an inside problem. So these three ways of explanations just explains this increase in the temperature. But as long as it's a theory, it's a theory. It's not more. So yes, this is my explanation. This is his explanation. This is your explanation. Yes, there is a fact. There is a reality here. Okay, but we can describe and explain this reality by variety of the arguments. And evolution is one of those arguments to explain the way of the creation and the being of the human beings and all the species. Yes, they claim and they could find some evidences which support that transformation and that gradual forming and shaping of the species and changing species one to another and one to another, okay? But there are too many evidences that reject it. Just I'll here send you some links of some articles that some scientists provided to say that the theory of evolution is not supported by any scientific evidences. Look here, I'm sending, I don't know if yes, it's here in the group, in public, I think, yes. First, no, I just sent it to Sayyid Ahfad. Yes, to everyone, yes. Okay. Here first, it's in a magazine, I think it's Irish Times, maybe, somehow related to you. Okay, and another another, scientific magazine, and the third in the scientist.com. You can refer to those articles. They say and talk, there are thousands of articles like that. They say that this claim that the evolution is completely supported by many evidences, many scientific evidence, is wrong. We can have another explanation without any problem, without confronting the science. So evolution is not certain, even according to science. So it means that you can be a scientist and not a very religious man, okay? Let's put just religion aside, okay? You're a scientist. You can be a scientist and still do not believe in what? In the evolution. So evolution is just a scientific theory that has many rejections, okay? And inshallah, you can read this, and you can find, and I don't know, maybe some of you have written some articles on this in the university or in your education. Okay, so the first thing is, after saying that the scientific worldview is nothing for us to talk about the transcendental issues like the existence of God, the first step of tonight is the evolution is something, it's just a theory. It's not proven, and it has many rejections. And it's amazing that the Darwin, who first talked about this kind of evolution, he was a very religious man. And he would say that, yes, I believe in evolution, but the first cell, the first being in this world was created by the Spirit of God. Okay, so the first step is that. What is the second step? The second step is, even if we believe in the evolution, even if we say that evolution is completely supported by science, we've got no problem with the evolution is completely scientific, everything supports the evolution, everything, confirms the evolution, okay. But the evolution cannot be used as a means to deny the existence of God. Why? And that is beautiful. These people, and it's so interesting and amazing, it's weird somehow, these people use the evolution as a weapon to deny the existence of God. But what is the relation between accepting the evolution and denying the existence of God, rejecting the existence of God? If you remember me on last sessions when we talked about the existence of God, we said, what is the reason that the beings need God? Does anyone remember that? What was the reason? Why we needed God in this universe? Can anyone say? Are you asleep? You're not fasting anymore. It's not the Ramadan, okay? So what was the reason? Let me believe that, yes, we did something to give existence. Why? Why we needed God to give existence? Is it because everything is essentially coming from God? Why it happens? Say that thought. Don't make me disappointed. We said that there is a characteristic for the beings of this universe. What was that? What was that attribution? It is because he wanted to put a Khalif. No, before that. I'm not talking about the Khilaf. I don't know if you were present in that sessions. Our necessity. Yes, very good. No, not Fitrah. Yes. Very good. And we are not necessary beings. Our possibility, let's put it that way, yes? We believe that, Sayyid Ahfad, we believe that, in there we said that all the beings that we are facing now, they are possible beings. Listen to me. It's because you do not write. All of these beings are possible beings, and you cannot shape the reality and existence by just possible beings, because possible beings are empty from any prior being in existence. And in the very beginning of their nature and existence, they need someone else to give them the existence. And someone else must be what? Must be a necessary being. So there we said that we need a necessary being in this universe. And we said that like we need God and a necessary being in the beginning, we need God and that necessary being in the continuation of our existence. So we always need that God. It's not just about the beginning of our creation. Why? Because we are always possible beings. We do not have any existence from inside. Okay? So let's get back to our discussion. Here, these people, they say, they believe that, please listen to me, it's so important. These people, these atheist people, and those people who deny the existence of God, by using the evolution as a weapon, okay, they believe that if we say that the creation was a sudden, spontaneous creation at first, then, yes, we can believe in God. What does it mean? It means that if God creates the trees and animals and elephants and lions and horses and human beings and mountains and planets and sun and moon and everything in this universe, like what we see now from the beginning, it means that we have a God that thought about everything and planned for everything and so on and so forth. Okay. But they believe that if we believe that everything just comes from a series of transformations, comes from a very simple cell to very complicated beings. If we say that, then we do not need to believe in God. Why? Because by this, we can explain the origin of the creation, the beginning of the creation. Yes, but what is the purpose of creation? Why necessary being needed to create? Yes, it's another question. Yes, I talked about this, somehow, but it's another question. The existence of God is something, and the next question, why he created us, it's something else. And we talked about this in the topic about the vicegerency of the human being, and inshallah we will talk about this again. Okay, no problem. But our question for now is not about this. Now we are talking about the relation between the evolution and the existence of God. And I reminded you of what we said before. The reason that we need a necessary being, and the necessary being really exists in this universe. Okay, so that is a very good question, but it's not the place and the time of that question. Inshallah, we'll talk about this more. Okay, no problem. So They say, those the atheists say, and it's, why they believe in so, because those people, they just dig and search for God in the unknown, unlike us. These people, and especially, unfortunately, it was started from the Jewish theology and then Western philosophy. They always seek the existence of God in the unknown. They say, okay, we know about the thunder, about the beings, about the human being, about all the species, yes, but we get somewhere that human being is created and we don't know how. So that place is a place that we believe in God. Any place and any time we could figure out what is the reason of something, of some event or happening. We don't need to talk about the God in that place, in that time. But if we find something that we cannot explain, there will be the place of God. And that is a big shirk. Okay? We believe that all the beings, because they are possible beings, they need the existence of God. So even if we believe the evolution, please listen to this. Even if we believe the evolution, even if we believe in evolution, okay? Even if we believe in that, we ask that all these beings and transformation and the first cell and the human being and everything in this world, are they necessary being or possible beings? And you say they are moving, evolving, raising, okay? All of them are possible beings. So according to that argument that we raised, again, we need the existence of God. So it doesn't matter if we believe or in the evolution or we deny the evolution. On both occasions, on both imaginations, we need the existence of God. So the existence of God and the necessity of God does not depend on rejecting the evolution. So you can, please, you can, in one time, you can believe in the existence of God and in the same time believe in evolution. So even if we believe in evolution, even if we say that it is supported by all the scientific facts and we have no problem with that, okay, which is just an imagination, even by that, you can still believe in God. Because believing in God was the result of the argument that we raised, that all these beings are possible beings. Yes, no problem, they can transform to each other, but they are all possible beings. The first cell is possible being, the human being is a possible being. And evolved with just possible being cannot come to the reality and existence, because it needs to take the existence from a necessary being. So, and I'm referring you to those sessions before. I know for some people here that they are new to our series and discussions, and they do not have any idea about the last sessions. I know, but I'm just, giving you a very brief explanation of the last discussions. Okay, so even if you believe in evolution, so to those atheists, no problem, let's just believe in evolution, no problem. We can all share, God forbid, we can all share our ancestors with monkeys, no problem, but it does not reject the existence of God, okay? Even if we believe in that kind of evolution. And this is the problem of some Western philosophies and some Western thoughts, because they are deprived, unfortunately, from the teachings of Qur'an. They think that we need to search for God in unknown. No, it's not true. Because we said that if you even explain everything based on science in this universe, it doesn't mean that you don't need God anymore. Because you're just explaining a possible system, a very sophisticated, very complicated system, but it's possible. So it needs a necessary being. That is, I name it, that is a very big scientific deception in our age. In our age. To say that believing in evolution means believing that God does not exist. A very big lie. A very big lie. Plus, we said that even the evolution is not supported by the scientific evidences, and it's just a theory. Okay, let's go to the third step. Science can only explain the workings of what is already created. Yes, and not just by what is you. I think that you mean that what is material, just material that is, yes, now created, and not even immaterial issues. Science is confined, is limited to this worldly life. And yes, it cannot create anything from nothing. Yes. Okay. And about this creating anything from nothing, I had a discussion on this. And we talked about the theories of the Stephen Hawking, inshallah. Please, I ask those people who did not attend those sessions to refer to those sessions. We had a very important talk there. Okay. Let's go to the third step. So the first step was the evolution is the theory. Okay. The second was that the evolution does not contradict, does not oppose the existence of God. And the third, which is the most controversial issue here, is that the evolution even does not oppose the Qur'anic narration on the genesis and the creation of the human being, and even the Bible's version. Yes, we have many problems with many issues with the Bible version, no problem. But even the Bible version cannot be denied by the evolution. How? So just listen and be with me here. According to the evolution, they say that all the species you see now, they have a history with some ancestors, with very simpler organism and body and the creation. Okay, and they say that the human beings go back to the Neanderthals, if I'm pronouncing properly, and we and monkeys share the same ancestors, and so on and so forth. Okay, but what is the Quranic version on the Genesis, on the creation? Quran says that we have created Adam without any prior, ancestors from the clay, and we gave Adam the life from our spirit. Okay, وَنَفَخْتُ فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِي. So how can we say that there is no contradiction between these two narrations? Again, go to science. The science, yes, it can provide evidences and talk about some relations between the beings in this universe, okay, if it's correct. But it cannot deny that some being and some creature just came to the existence suddenly without any prior process that they say. Yes, okay, granted, we believe that. Okay, no problem, no problem. Many of the beings in this universe are the result of evolution. Yes, okay, if we believe in that. I'm just taking that as a fact. Remember the first step. Okay, it was a theory, but yes, let's just take it as a fact. Okay, no problem. But what is the result of that fact, supposedly fact? The result is, yes, we believe that there are species, beings, creatures in this universe, that they had a prior history of being other species or the kinds of the beings. Okay. But what's wrong if we believe that in this universe, there are some species or some kinds of the creatures that they came to the existence suddenly? Can science deny this? No. Yes, science can talk about some beings that exist and talk about the relations, but it cannot deny the unseen creation of another being. Cannot claim that I say it's not possible, it's impossible that a being comes to this existence just suddenly without any prior, ancestors or prior transformation. So what's wrong if we believe that on the human being and descendants of Adam and Hawa, it was a very sudden creation by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What's wrong with that? Even if we believe the evolution, yes, we believe in evolution. Yes, the dinosaurs, the lions, maybe the horses, maybe the donkeys, maybe the ants, maybe, I don't know. the bees, and many other animals, okay? But what's wrong with this belief? That we believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just created Adam and Hawa without any prior process of transformation. What's wrong with that? We do not reject your evolution theory. Okay, no problem. You can believe in that in many species in this world. But we believe that we can have another kind of creation which is not a result of the evolution. What I'm going to say, I'm saying that science, as I said before, please remember those sessions. Science cannot provide general laws in this universe. Science cannot say all the beings. Cannot say that. Yes, it can say that as I witnessed, as I could provide evidences, some beings, some species in this universe, they follow the law of the evolution. Okay, no problem. But what's wrong? And what's a problem if we believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Adam and Hawa and the mankind without any prior process? Your process, I mean. So without any problem and without rejecting the evolution, we can believe in sudden creation of Adam and Hawa, and we can believe in the Qur'anic narration of the Genesis without any problem and contradiction with the science. If we believe that the evolution is correct, if we believe in that. But even if we believe in that, we can also believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can create a sudden creation here without any problem. So the evolution cannot generalize its law, its rule, and cannot apply the law on all the supposed beings. It cannot happen. Why? Because science cannot generalize all the rules and laws. Because we say that a divine power have created something in this world, and yes, that creation was gradual, because we believe in, according to our narrations, we believe that Adam was in the situation of clay and dust for 40 days. Okay, no problem. But who said that Adam again needs another ancestors? No, Adam can come to the existence without any ancestor, without this famous evolution and process of the transformation, without any problem. So the Qur'anic narration of the creation of human being can still be correct without any problem. And in the same time, we can believe in evolution. If we can prove the evolution, yes, there are too many problems there. Many articles reject the evolution. But I'm saying that evolution, whether you believe in this or not, has nothing to do with the theological beliefs and thoughts. You can believe in many scientific facts, but it doesn't mean that those scientific facts reject the existence of God. That is our problem nowadays, because people tend to use the science and so-called scientific facts to deny the existence of God. Why? Because this is one of the major problems and reasons here. Because the Christianity is very weak in its philosophy. So it's always based on somehow very weak, pillars of thought. So just a bomb, just a very light weapon can destruct and demolish that pillar, and it all falls down. Like what happened to the argument of order in the 16th century. So 3 steps. First, evolution is just a theory, and we have many rejections on the evolution. Second is that even if we believe in evolution, it does not reject the existence of God. And the third is that if we believe in evolution, it does not reject the Qur'anic conception, the Qur'anic narration on the Genesis and on the creation of the human being. So just let's recite one verse of Qur'an here. So here, the first verse of Surah An-Nisa, so it would be the chapter 4, verse 1. Here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. This is the Qur'anic narration here. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. O mankind, be careful of your duty to your Lord, who created you from a single soul, and from it created its mate, and from them twain, I don't know what is this here, spread abroad a multitude of men and women. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that all the men and women, that they are the audience of Qur'an, and Qur'an talks to them. They are all descendants of Adam without any prior process, without any prior ancestors. Adam had no ancestors, and Havva, they had no ancestors. Be careful of your duty towards Allah, in whom you claim your rights of one another, and towards the womb that bear you. Allah, and other the rest of the verse here, that is a very ancient translation here. I don't know where I took this translation. Okay, so here we believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that we have created directly Adam and Havva without any ancestors. Because there we have another verse in Quran that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّ مَثَلَ عِيسَى عِنْدَ اللَّهِ كَمَثَلَ آدَمَ خَلَقَهُ مِنْ تُرَابٍ ثُمَّ قَالَ لَهُ كُنْ فَيَكُونُ. The example of Isa for the God is exactly the example of Adam. What is the similarity? Isa, Jesus Christ, has no father, and Adam has no parents, no father and no mother. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this verse, the first verse of the Surah An-Nisa, He says that all the mankind, men and women, are from Adam and Havva, and Adam and Havva has no ancestors, has no prior process, so-called process that other beings have. So we had 3 steps tonight, and our main objective tonight was to say that believing in evolution has nothing to do with the religion, faith, and the existence of God. So our religion can remain intact even if we believe in evolution. And this contradiction and this fight between science and religion is something completely out of Islam. It's brought in to us by who? By the Christianity and the problems in the West, unfortunately. Okay, so according to this discussion, we talked about the evolution, and it wasn't the most important discussion of us. The most important was the talk about the vicegerency of the human being and the state of mastership, and inshallah we will come to those discussions again. So for the next inshallah session, it can be next week, or we can take a break a week, I don't know, but I'm ready. I have no problem to inshallah go on with the sessions from the next Monday. Inshallah we will enter the discussions concerning the prophethood, which is a very, very important discussion. And then inshallah we go to the al-imama. And I tried so hard, I don't know how successful it was, but I tried so hard to provide a logical conception on the human being, on Tawheed, and on the Islamic worldview, which I think is mostly neglected by many of our youth, many of our brothers and sisters in our community, and many of our scholars. And I think that if we go through this way, inshallah, I think if we take this path, inshallah, we will be, we can, claim that we could be successful to understand some very, very important issues that Quran provided to us, that Quran talked about. And the Quran really is a stranger to us, really. Many teachings in Quran. Now, unfortunately, many of us are forgetful and neglectful. Inshallah, Allah makes us a very good friend with Quran, and inshallah, we can, on the day of judgment, we can be with Quran and in the line of people who recite Quran, who believe in Quran, and who respected Quran in this world. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. If there is any question, I'm ready to answer.